Jack Smith trying to make it very clear in that 49-page indictment. When Donald Trump left office, those documents were not his. They belonged to the American people and the government. You're looking at the motorcade leaving Doral now, headed to the federal courthouse. The former president saying he will plead not guilty, that I've done nothing wrong. And Dan Abrams, we've heard repeatedly Donald Trump saying there's the Presidential Records Act. That covers me. There's nothing criminal here. Those documents I'm allowed to have in my possession. In your opinion, why doesn't that work?
So the Presidential Records Act is basically in place to figure out a way to monitor and chronicle presidential records. It's specifically related to the president. Senators don't have it. Vice presidents don't have it. It's something unique to the president. And then you have to figure out which of the documents are necessarily covered by the Presidential Records Act. And there have been disputes in the past. Should this be covered? Shouldn't this be covered? Donald Trump's position is everything that I had should not have been covered by the Presidential Records Act.
Nuclear secrets, U.S. military vulnerabilities? His
position is that he is entitled to claim all of it as his personal documents. Problem with that is your question, right? If you take that argument to its extreme, that means he's saying he's allowed to take any and every document that belongs to the government and say it belongs to him. The fundamental legal problem with that is that there was a court ruling that made it clear that what are called agency documents are not related to the Presidential Records Act. They're not subject to the Presidential Act. So you can't say
you're talking about CIA,
the FBI document, the CIA document. You can't say those are my documents because they never belonged to you in the first place. There was a big case that came out of this related to Bill Clinton, and it related to him making his own tapes, which he was going to use for a book. And there was a dispute, and a court in 2012 basically said it's kind of up to Bill Clinton because he was president. And the Trump team is trying to say, see, well, that should apply to us. Of course, that's wildly different when you're talking about someone making tapes of themselves and a dispute over should that be presidential records or not. Here you're talking about taking documents that belong to the government and belong to particular agencies. And that's why the argument fails.